Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to recreate a beautiful Chanel blue eyeshadow look. I wore this in a video recently where you and I walked down memory lane and explored some of the best past spring releases from the brand. We will be using some of the 9 shadow palettes that came out a couple of years ago, and we're going to use some new releases, some old favorites, and that is today's video. But before we go any further, let's take a second to grab our iced coffee or a hot coffee. Let's take a sip and let's get started. I have my makeup brushes nestled in my gardenia candle here from Diptyque, and I have 2 of the large eyeshadow palettes. These are the first items that came out, I guess, with Lucia Pica, the former makeup artist for Chanel. So this is the Les 9 Ombres, the 9 shadow palette, first edition Affresco. This is the first one that came out. I think this came out in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So we will focus on the blues today. Beautiful blue. This one here, no, this one over here, and maybe some transition colors from this palette here. And then I also have the 9 shadow palette, second edition. This one here is Quintessence. This one here also has a gorgeous blue. This one also has like a light champagne color. So we're going to mix and match both of the palettes. You more than likely have both of these palettes at home. If you do not, just use what you already have. I'm sure you have more than enough. So I'm dipping into this color here. This is like a beige transition color. I'm using my dual-ended retractable brush here from the brand. And I'm going into the big fluffy side at first. And this is just going in the crease and just a little bit all over. It doesn't have to be too precise. This is just going to help our blue shadows blend a little bit easier in a moment. Now for the fun part. So we're going to go into this blue color here with the opposite end of my brush. And we're just going to pick this up here. If there's one thing you need to know about me, is that I love blue eyeshadow. I would say that in the palette, this looks a little bit darker, and then on the eyes, it's a little bit lighter, but it's still very pretty. It's sort of like an aqua blue, very, very pretty. I was really surprised when Chanel first came out with these 9 shadow palettes a few years ago. And then I was even more surprised when they stopped making them. They just came out with edition number 1, edition number 2, and then they came out with the Les Beige. The Les Beige Nude 9 shadow palette was a thing of dreams, and then they just stopped. I thought that they would continue with this. I was hoping to see some purple thrown in. I mean, I love blue eyeshadow, but I also really love purple as well. Now I'm just taking a little bit more of a tapered brush here, and I'm not even adding anything. I'm just going over the blue here and just bringing it up a little bit higher just to blend it out a little bit. And we're going to dip into the other palette here in a moment just to add a little bit of that darker color. I am getting some fallout on one side more than the other for some reason, so I'm gonna leave that now. I don't like to clean it up as I go. I'm just going to make a whole mess, and then at the end I clean it up because I get irritated when you just like keep cleaning up as you go. So now let's get into this blue over here. This one's like a dark matte navy. So we're gonna go in lighter here, just knocking a bit off. And I'm just going to keep it in the outer corner here. I'm taking that big fluffy brush from before, and I'm just very gently, like I'm not scrubbing or anything, just very gently, just go over top here. And I didn't add anything to the brush, it's just to help it be blended. going into a more tapered brush. This is like a pencil brush. I'm just taking this light blue and just tracing it under here. I need to clean up this blue so bad. Oh my goodness, there's so much here. I don't know what happened, but it just happened. So just taking a little bit of eye cream, I'm just cleaning this up. I don't like to use eye makeup remover to remove like fallout because it just dries out my eyes, or the skin around my eyes, I should say. It dries it out, it irritates it. So I would much rather use eye cream, eye mask, eye serum, anything of that nature. And look how much it picks up. It takes it all away. Wonderful. So if I'm not mistaken from my video, I think I took some of the blue and it was a bit more on the outer part here, not quite as high in the center. So I'm just going to correct that a little bit with a Q-tip. A Q-tip is a wonderful makeup tool. It's, you know, they're very cheap. You can get them at the dollar store and they work wonders. So just to erase how high up I went in the center and just sort of focusing it more on the outer part here. The nail polish I'm wearing is also from the 2018 beauty collection from Chanel. This one, the nail polish is Giallo Napoli. It was this beautiful, sometimes, for me this is yellow, but some people think it looks orange. I think it looks yellow. At first when it came out, it was like, a yellow nail polish? Are you crazy? But it actually looks quite nice. It's beautiful. Now I'm going in quite generously with this eyeliner here. This is the shade 946 Intense Teal. It's from Chanel. I don't know when this one came out exactly. It's a beautiful color. It's discontinued, I'm quite certain, but don't worry, they'll come out with something else in the very near future. So I'm going to do a generous coat. I'm going to go on the top waterline like this. I'm going to go on the top lash line a little bit, and then also on the bottom as well. Now going back into the second palette here, I'm going to use this beautiful champagne color. I loved the gold and champagne here. They're just such a beautiful one and done. Like if you're just feeling kind of lazy and just want to add some brightness to your eye, I used those ones a lot. But today I'm going to use that champagne and it's going to go in the inner corner here. Need a little bit more. It just sort of brightens up the whole look. Lovely. You definitely do need to balance a blue eye look. Adding a nice pop of like a champagne color on the inner corner of the eye can brighten it. Sometimes I do want like a dark blue look, but sometimes I want something a little bit lighter. This one gives me everything that I want. I'm going to leave that for now. I'm going to use mascara and then do the face, and then I might touch up a little bit once the foundation, concealer, everything is done. So for the mascara, in the original video, I used the Benefit Bad Gal Bang, which is amazing, but I'm trying out this roller lash from Benefit. They sent me this one here, the roller lash. I don't love it. I know that a lot of people, for them, the roller lash is their holy grail. For me, I think it's okay. I think it's fine. I think the Bad Gal Bang is way better in my opinion. Yeah, like this one's fine. I wouldn't purchase it personally. Sorry, Benefit. Thanks for sending the mascara, but I don't know, like it's fine. It looks like mascara, but the Benefit, like the Bad Gal Bang, that gives me such great lashes, and this one's like fine. I think maybe this one is more for curling lashes, but I don't need my lashes to be curled. I want lots of length and drama, and this one's just, it's fine. Mascara is such a personal thing. You could take 10 women who have the same taste in makeup, same skin tone, same skin type, and they'll all have different mascara favorites. I think it has something to do with like your natural hair texture and hair color. Although some people have like curly hair and then really straight lashes. So I don't know. For the complexion, I kept it really bare because I'm kind of having a good skin moment, except for this thing over here, rude. So I'm using the NARS Radiant Primer. This is a makeup primer. It has an SPF in it, but I'm wearing a sunscreen underneath anyway. But it sort of gives you a glow. Like this dollop here needs to be blended, but it gives you a peachy glow. And so on days when I just want my skin to look and feel and breathe like skin, I just use this generously. It gives me glow, it gives me some radiance, it gives me a bit of boost, and it just looks wonderful. Now the concealer is going to be my Chanel Sublimage concealer in the shade 32. This is a very expensive concealer that came out. It's new. It came out before the new year, I think in the fall. And it's very expensive, but it's a wonderful product. Okay, concealer is blended. I've really been enjoying this super light and fresh actual skin makeup look. I've worn foundation a handful of times in the past several weeks. It's just, I don't know, I've been having a good skin moment, so I'm just riding the wave. I'm going to go back into my champagne color from before. I'm just going to add a little bit more just here. Why not? Who doesn't want to look bright and awake? So just adding a little bit here and then a little bit under the brow bone here. I am going into a bit of bronzer because I just got back from Barbados and now I'm living in the frozen tundra again. So I just want to lean into my bronzed look. And this is the Tom Ford Terra Bronzer. Let's just take a moment to appreciate and love the gold and white compact. I think that is so fresh. It's so summer. It's really nice. And I'm just using a big kabuki brush just to apply some. So I'm just going, what do they say, like that E shape or the 3 shape, just like this, the high points where you would naturally get some sun damage. I'm just going to add a bit of bronzer. And I'm going a little bit on the cheek here as well. I am going to use a blush, but I just think that this look looks really nice with like a nice warm bronzy look. We're going to pretend we're back in the Caribbean and this is the color of the water, or maybe we're on the Mediterranean, you know, somewhere tropical and warm and gorgeous. The blush is my Hermès blush number 19. It's called Rose Apricot. It's really not rosy. It's more of a nice apricot color. And this is a gorgeous texture because it's matte, but it's like a soft, silky, velvety matte. It just sort of sits so nicely on the cheek. And this is a very expensive blush. It's Hermès, of course, but it lasts all day. This blush does not fade in the slightest. You apply however much you want and it's there 9 hours later. So that is really nice. Now I'm going into this NARS Orgasm on the Beach palette. I'm going into these two colors here. So it's a highlighter and then a blush highlighter. This is Turtle Bay and Montezuma. It could be opposite order, but I'm using this big brush here. So I'm going to go into, I guess, the highlighter first. It's really lovely. It's like a nice golden color here. So I'm just going to apply some of that. I guess golden isn't really the term. It's more like a nice champagne color. Sort of like lit from within, candlelit glow. It's very pretty. And then I'm going into the orange one. This is going to be like a blush topper because it does have some highlighter in it, but it matches the blush that we used earlier. So it's just going to be extra glowy because I feel like it. And then I'm just adding a little bit more of the rose apricot on top just because I feel like it, I guess. I don't know, I just felt like the highlighter was nice, but I want to make sure that we see this gorgeous apricot blush here. The lip is the new Dior Lip Maximizer in the shade 004 Coral. It's beautiful. It's like a dreamsicle coral, and I go in pretty heavy-handed with this because I want the color payoff. So I'm gonna go like this, a couple pumps. I dipped the wand into the gloss 3 times, so there we go. The lip color takes a minute to just sort of melt into your skin and adapt itself, but I do think that these are pretty true to color. It's a lip gloss. It's not going to be as opaque as a lipstick, but it is quite nice. And I love the turquoise and the coral. Ugh, it's giving me beach vibes. And so I'm hoping that I'm inspiring you and giving you some beach vibes at home in the middle of February. So for the fragrance, I'm going into my Guerlain Aqua Allegoria Coconut Fizz. Tragically, this has been discontinued. What a travesty. Coconut Fizz is the most refined coconut smell, because I know some people, when they think coconut, some of the coconut perfumes can smell a bit cheap. This is refined, it's elegant, it's elevated, it's aquatic, it smells the way that watermelon tastes. It, with coconut, like a creamy, milky coconut flavor. Oh, it's wonderful, and it's fresh, and it smells the way that you feel when you walk into turquoise water and white sand. That's the best way I can describe this, and so I think that this is the best perfume for this look here. It has some fruity notes as well, but it's not too sweet. I think that's why it stays refined and elevated and not like a body spray, although I do love a body spray, but you know what I mean. So this is the look here. This is the recreation from that makeup look a few days ago, last week, you know what I mean. This is the tutorial. So like I said, most of you probably have one or both of these. If you don't, it's fine. Just use whatever you have at home. Go for, you want something that's going to be like an aqua turquoise that has a bit of shimmer in it, but you're going to need this champagne highlight in the corner. I think that really changes the look. It makes it lighter, because beforehand it looked a bit darker, but just adding that there and then applying some of it here makes a difference. And because I went with an apricot blush, I went with a coral apricot lip. If I wanted to do a pink cheek, I would go with a pink lip. So that is today's video. This is today's look. Sound off in the comments below. If you've made it this far in the video, leave a coconut emoji. Yeah, go ahead and do that. So that is it for today's video. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, because I talk a lot about luxury beauty. I am a Chanel aficionado. I used to work for the brand. I know a lot about the brand. I have a lot of their products, so I'm quite an expert on the brand. But I also love to do tutorials and get ready with me videos where I mix new and old products, because you don't always have to buy everything in sight in order to look put together. So if that sounds interesting, make sure you're subscribed. And on that note, I think that's all I have for you guys for today. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.